What's up guys, and welcome to a last to first challenge today. We are still on F1 2017, but today we have the F1 2005 mod installed. So as the name suggests, this replaces all of the teams and drivers from the 2017 season with the 2005 season, and I've got to say it is one of the best and most in-depth mods I have ever seen on a Formula 1 game. So if there's one mod that you download this year, make it be this one. So yeah, I'll leave a link to the mod down in the description. Big thanks to the mod creators, and I'll also leave a link to Tom97, a friend of mine on YouTube. His video that he's done on this mod. It's a lot more in depth and he explains it very well, so do check that one out. But as you can see, it's got all the driver photos from the 2005 season, and as you will be able to tell from the title, today we are going to try and recreate the 2005 Japanese Grand Prix. We're going to be driving with Kimi Raikkonen. As you can see, we are going to be starting from the back of the grid. Now, I believe in real life, Raikkonen actually started from 17th, but that 2005 Japanese Grand Prix, one of the greatest of all time. If you haven't already seen it, I'm sure there's somewhere on YouTube that will show it. But yeah, basically Raikkonen started in 17th place, and on the final lap of the race made an overtake on Giancarlo Fisichella to win the Grand Prix. Just an incredible drive. So we're going to be trying to do that today, but in a 25% race. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. You will have been able to see by the grid that Raikkonen's teammate Montoya is starting from pole. What can we do in this 25% race? It is lights out and away we go. It's Suzuka, and what a brilliant start. Dispatching of the two Minardis and one of the Jordans before the first corner as we plough into turn one. Or pretty much all the cars staying in single file. Now we find ourselves just behind Felipe Massa. One of the only drivers, sorry, two of the only drivers that are actually left on the grid at the moment, Massa and Raikkonen, both in the 2017 game and also both in the 2005 mod, as the cars now file through this brilliant Sector 1 at Suzuka, which does feel fantastic on this game, and going pretty much side by side are the two of them. It looks as if Raikkonen will just about emerge in the lead, but no, Massa goes down the inside, just about goes into the gravel, but holds P16. Brilliant racing early on. And you'll probably be able to hear in the background the beautiful sound of these V10 engines. But locking up now is Raikkonen. It's going to go side by side of Raikkonen and Massa, but Raikkonen gets a poor exit. And that is unfortunate for ourselves, staying in P17. So not a great first lap, to be honest, at the moment. But possibly going to try and move into Spoon Curve. No, we don't. We stick behind Massa for the meantime. But I've got to say how beautiful these cars look in this mod. I will keep switching to the replay cameras just because it gives you guys a real good idea of what these cars look like. But as I say, if you check out Tom's video, he does it a lot more in depth than I've done. This is more of just sort of like a gameplay showcase as to what the cars really do feel like. Yeah, they're just fantastic, I think it is fair to say. So yeah, going through the final corner now on lap 1, the tail is sticking out, but yeah, the handling on these cars, a little bit difficult to explain. It's sort of a cross between the classic cars, so like the early 2000s cars, well, yeah, pretty much like the 2005 era cars, a cross between that and the actual 2017 handling, which for me is the best it's ever been on an F1 game. So I'll be intrigued to know what it actually is, like where the handling has come from. But we do also have the V10 sounds as well, which is brilliant. But yeah, anyway, in the background you would have seen that we did get the head eventually of Felipe Massa. A lovely move into the hairpin. And yeah, you'll want to keep an eye on that for the rest of the video, because yeah, it's a favourite spot of ours. But next up is the man himself, Narain Karthikeyan. What a beautiful man. But anyway, lap 2, at the end of it, we go down the inside of Karthikeyan, and that just shows how much quicker the McLaren is compared to the Jordan. And I didn't think I'd ever hear myself saying how much quicker the McLaren is compared to, and then say another F1 car afterwards, because it's not been great in recent years for them, has it? But anyway, we're still going through the field. We're on lap 3, and we're still only in P15. So I think it's going to be difficult to take the win. You can see on the minimap just how far ahead Montoya is. But now trying to go down the inside of Heidfeld, who is very, very good under braking there. And I've got to take my hat off to the mod creators in terms of like the AI. who are just fantastic. I mean, often when you fiddle about with a lot of things on an F1 game, it can sort of mess a lot of things up. But nah, the AI are just they're as good as, if not a little bit even. They feel actually maybe even a bit better than the AI on the standard 2017 game. I don't know, that might just be the performance of the cars is a little bit closer, but nonetheless, it just feels wonderful going through this first sector now in these cars. Right behind Nick Heidfeld we are at the moment, but it's so difficult to just get our foot down and manage to get past the German, who is now a Formula E driver, of course, and I believe does a little bit of touring car, possibly DTM driving. I'm not completely sure, but yeah, the Formula E and Formula 1 veteran is ahead of us at the moment, but we dive down the inside of that hairpin once again, and Heidfeld goes a little bit wide there, but still, we do manage to get past him. And a nice little fact for you. Obviously, this is based on 2005, and between 2005 and 2017, Nick Heidfeld hasn't actually won a single-seater race. So, yeah, there is a little fact for you. But anyway, we are now behind Christian Klein in the RB1, I believe, the first ever Red Bull car. But we dummy it to the inside, going side by side with Klein, and we bash wheels. Ryan Foley will be loving this. And we managed to just about get past Klein. And that is a brilliant little battle that we managed to have. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know whether the performance is a little bit closer in this 2005 mod. But yeah, really, really good to have battles with even these midfield teams, you know. It just feels really, really satisfying. But anyway, we're nearly halfway through this race now. And we're still sitting in P13. So a little bit demoralising. But yeah, one of the regulations, in fact, from the 2005 season was there was no mandatory tyre changes. So that has been carried over to this mod. We don't have to pit, although there were a couple of cars in the pit lane on lap 6, which has promoted us up into P11. And there is our teammate, the current leader of the race, Juan Pablo Montoya, who on lap 7 actually decides to come into the pit lane. So that is going to be interesting to see where he comes out. But anyway, going back to our point of view, and Villeneuve there locks up quite considerably, and it looks as if we're going to get a good exit off this final corner now. You can see Montoya in the pit lane, but we are going to have to concentrate on getting past Villeneuve. I think we've just about jumped Montoya in the pit lane. Yes, we have. But Villeneuve there goes round the outside, gets the better line. We were sort of squeezed to the inside and didn't want to cause any sort of incident. But anyway, we are up into P10 and a points-paying position on lap 8 of this Grand Prix. But we are not content with that at the moment. We want to try and get past Jacques Villeneuve, the 1997 world champion. And there was a bit of an element of surprise there, I think, going down the inside at Spoon and just about keeping it within the track limits. We were pushing it, but I think we've just about managed to make it stick. And the next few laps were just really, really enjoyable because it was just pushing this car to the max. And that's something that I just love about the 2017 game in general, is you can really, really push these cars right to the limit. And having these tyres on, they just don't wear at all, so it's just good. You can literally push lap after lap after lap. And sure enough, come lap 11, we have closed up on P8, who is Jenson Button. And we are pretty much right on his gearbox. We can read that rear wing as we go through Sector 1. But anyway, going into Sector 2 now. And we really are right behind Jenson. And we're coming up to our favourite point to make an overtake on this Suzuka circuit. And we dive it down the inside once again, a big lockup. But it doesn't really matter with these tyres, because you're not really going to get any flat spots. But now we're pretty much side by side with Jenson Button, another driver who retired relatively recently. So Raikkonen and Button have had many, many battles over the years, and we really are rolling back the years at this point. Going through Spoon Curve, will we be able to go down the inside? Yes, we do. But we were side by side almost for, well, a whole sector pretty much there. So that's some more fantastic racing on this mod with Button and Raikkonen. But now as we go through the end of Sector 2 and a 130R and brake for the final chicane on the circuit. We're quite a long way behind Takuma Sato, who was, of course, Jenson Button's teammate back in 2005 for BAR Honda. But as we come now through the final corner of the final lap of the race, it was Fernando Alonso, of course, the 2005 world champion, who took victory, or sorry, has taken victory in this race. We could only manage P8, which was a little bit disappointing. and not completely realistic to the real-life Grand Prix. But I think if we had a 50% or even a 100% race, we would have definitely been able to get on to the podium positions. But there you can see Maurizio Arrivabene, I think he's meant to be Flavio Briatore because he's in the Renault gear. And just look at that. How beautiful does that look? How realistic is that? I mean, for my Legends career last year, I did not go to this sort of effort with the team gear. And it just looks wonderful. I mean, you can just see it for yourself. I don't even need to say any more, I don't think. And Juan Pablo Montoya there in P9. His beautiful helmet that he used in the 2005 season. But that is just the attention to detail that we're talking about. And there you can see it was a Renault 1-2. So Fernando Alonso won the Grand Prix with Giancarlo Fisichella in P2. And Rubens Barrichello there in P3, making up the final position on the podium. But guys, I hope you did enjoy this little mod showcase, I guess. And if there's anything else that you want to see me do let me know. I was thinking of possibly doing a US Grand Prix last man standing, almost as a bit of a joke, because of course, in the real life 2005 US Grand Prix, there was only 6 cars that actually started the race. So it could be a little interesting one to maybe try and DNF all of the Michelin runners, realistic to real life. So if that's something that you'd like to see, do let me know down below. But guys, it has been a pleasure, this video. It really has. Really a lot of fun. And as I said, do make sure to check the mod down in the description of the video. And until my next video, guys, which will probably be a Road to Glory, I'll catch you then. Bye-bye.